What's up, you pumpkin heads? It's Mike, and I'm trying to grow a 3,000-pound pumpkin. Join me for week 3. We're going to get these babies in the ground. You're watching Moby Mike Pumpkins on YouTube. All right, May 3rd, we're going to plant the automated hoop. Pulled our pot out. That was our placeholder. And then a little bit of granular biphenethrin and imidacloprid. Just try and keep them like corn maggots away, corn seed maggots. And anyway, we'll get her in the hole. I'll set the phone down, and I'll cut to it, but I'll flip it out and we'll just get a picture of the roots. Unless it wants to really fall apart, then I'll get it in there quick and you won't get to see them. So we'll see. Alrighty, there we go. There's the roots, 2 weeks old, and then we'll get her in there. Boom, there you go. Grow light's on, and the grow light actually runs kind of on temperature. So if it opens the top vent, it shuts the grow light off. And if it opens the top vent, it should be sunny out. So that means the grow light basically runs 24 hours a day, except for during the middle of the day when it's super sunny out. So, and then we got the heater in there. That'll kick on at a certain temp. I don't remember what it is. Oh yeah, the wind beat the shit out of us even more. We got a couple broken hoops in there. Guess I'll have to get her fixed up. That one's not too bad. It just came unclipped, but it did slide over. I need to anchor it, but do that tomorrow when the wind dies down, you know. All right, we are back at the hydro tank, and I sucked her out, but the sump doesn't grab all that junk, which kind of sucks. I could maybe grab a vacuum or something, but I think whatever junk's in there, we're just gonna sanitize it, and then it'll be sanitized junk, and it'll be just fine. All right, let's recap. Hydro tank. We have got the air stones in there. Black airlines. We've got a weird mesh structure to kind of support the roots. The tank is sanitized, even though there's junk in there. I'm not going to get that out of there. And then the total water is warmed up. And then we got our nutrients. And then all we got to do is pH adjust it. And we will sanitize our tank heater. We'll put that in. The system should be ready to go. We'll fire up the air stones that will help heat everything up. And then we got to fix this sucker. I'm putting an auto vent fan on it, and I'm not going to have everything till Saturday. So this tote will be ready to rock, and we will fix that up as soon as them parts come in Saturday, and we'll get her in there. We might even get the plant in there before we get the greenhouse on if it's nice out Saturday. All right, guys, we got the 2741 haste out here. That was kind of the smaller plant. I was maybe gonna put her in the hydro, or maybe not even plant it at all, but it's starting to look pretty good. Just a little smaller than the others, and a lot of times some of these great pumpkins, they have a little slow start, and I don't think that's any reason to veer from the original plan. A lot of people asking, why did I put sticks in the last one? If you see there, it's kind of supporting that leaf there. That way if the wind gets in here, the plant can't whip side to side or whatever. So just kind of keeps them stabilized. The hoops are open so air can flow in there. Anyway, the haste is planted, and now let's go do the hydroponic one. All right, guys, we got the Volkman here for the hydro, and I got to rinse all this soil off here to get to the roots. I probably should start the hydro one hydroponically in the house, like in rock wool, make it a little easier, but whatever. This is what I do, I guess. I've done it the last couple years like this. So we'll rinse all this soil off, and then we'll get her in the hydro system. Kind of hard to film, but I'm just kind of gently eroding the soil away. This will probably take me 10 minutes. We'll get all the roots. And then we got those rocks sanitized, and then that's our basket. We just modified a normal lid for an IBC tote. And there's one of them big totes like that buried in the ground underneath that greenhouse. And so we'll just keep working on this, and we'll get her in there. All right, here's the plan after rinsing. Did we get everything? No. We got the best we could. Gonna break some roots. I kind of got it spread up, and then we'll get it in the rocks and hopefully a few things hanging down. I got the tank pretty high, so keep the tank high while this grows some longer roots. And once the roots get a little longer, then we'll lower the tank level a little bit. All right, the Volkman is in without a hitch. I didn't have enough rocks. I had to go get some more. They're just normal landscaping rocks. Just sanitize them up. The bubbler's off so we can talk, but I'm gonna turn the bubbler on. I'm gonna do one last check on pH. I adjusted it a few times. Once you get it set, it stays pretty good, but in the initial phase, like it'll read good, and a couple hours later it'll drift. Eventually that acid reacts with the calcium in there. So we'll turn the bubbler on and get a pH, adjust if needed, and that's their new home. All right, so we're checking the pH, and yes, we have drifted. We're at a 6.7. The ideal range would be 5.8 to 6.2 with an acceptable range of 5.6 to 6.4. We are out of it, but it won't take much acid at all to bring that down. And also, I'll watch the plant, and like when I'm grabbing like this pH sample or whatever, throughout the day, if it looks a little, flaccid, I can scoop a little water from the tank up onto the roots, because not all the roots are in the water that were, and we just really shocked it. So we can kind of feed it a little bit that way. So anyway, we'll give her a little acid, and we should be good. All right, let's take a look at it, everyone, to close the week out. Got the 544 Schmidt. That's in the new greenhouse that's dubbed the Time Machine, because it's pretty far out there. And then over this way, we have the 2741 Haste. It's kind of the smallest plant of all the ones I started, but you know what? It looks healthy. We're going with the genetics. I like that it came from a 2,700 pound pumpkin. We transplanted it out here today. She's looking all right. Then we got the Hydro. Has the 2371 Volkmann. So we're excited about that. We're putting a greenhouse on the Hydro. We're getting the plant out here weeks earlier. Should be pretty cool. Sitting there, just put in there today, so she'll grab hold. We're running a lot less nitrogen than before. I think we figured our nitrogen wrong, because we were using a nitric acid to pH adjust the water, and I was calculating a little bit for it, but I was doing my math wrong, I think. So I was adding about twice as much nitrogen as I needed. The plants didn't look like they were nitrogen bloated, but we're turning it down to where it should be, and we're going to run the overall EC a little lower, so we'll see what happens.